Let's get right into it. Number 10. The Copper Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty wasn't always green. When she first arrived from France, she was the color of a brand new copper penny. Within a few months, she started to turn dull brown. Then she turned different shades of brown and black. By 1906, people were writing angry letters to newspapers asking why nobody was cleaning the statue. It took about 20 years for her to turn into that blue-green color we see today. The green coating is a fancy type of rust that scientists call patina. It actually protects the copper underneath from breaking down. Nobody alive today has seen her in her original copper glory, and if you cleaned off all that green stuff today, she'd just start turning green all over again. Number 9. The London After Midnight film. This 1927 horror movie starred Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces. It was apparently so terrifying that people fainted in theaters, but you can't watch it because no copies exist. The last known copy went up in flames during an MGM vault fire in 1965. All we have left are these incredibly creepy publicity photos showing Chaney in his vampire makeup. He created this nightmare fuel using wire inserts in his nose and mouth to stretch his face into an inhuman grin. His sharp teeth were made from jagged pieces of fish bone. The makeup was so uncomfortable that Chaney could only wear it for minutes at a time. In 1928, a man named Robert Williams murdered a woman and claimed the movie drove him to do it. His lawyer actually tried using "London After Midnight Made Me Do It" as a defense in court. It didn't work, but it added to the film's sinister reputation. Film historians have been searching for a copy for decades. The only proof it existed are those haunting photos of Chaney's grotesque grin staring at us from a movie we can't watch. Number 8. The original White House. The White House wasn't always white. It started out as a regular stone building. Back in 1814, during the War of 1812, the British set fire to Washington, D.C., and the president's house got the worst of it. The damage was so bad that they needed a quick fix to cover up all the burn marks. Their solution was to slap white paint on it, lots of it. And just like that, what started as a cover-up job became one of the most iconic paint jobs in history. Nobody alive today has seen the original unpainted stone building. The White House we all know is basically wearing makeup to cover up its battle scars. Number 7. The Terracotta Army's true colors. Imagine discovering the world's most incredible ancient army, only to watch it fade away right in front of your eyes. That's exactly what happened when archaeologists first uncovered China's famous terracotta warriors. These clay soldiers weren't always the dull gray color we see today. When they were first made over 2,000 years ago, they were painted in vibrant colors, bright blues, deep reds, and bold greens. Each warrior was basically a walking rainbow, with painted faces, colored armor, and detailed patterns on their clothes. When these warriors were first dug up in 1974, they looked amazing for about 15 seconds. The moment the ancient paint met fresh air, it started to crumble away. Within minutes, the colors that had survived for over 2 millennia were gone. Scientists have found tiny traces of the original paint and used them to create digital reconstructions. But nobody alive today has seen these warriors in their full, colorful glory. Next time you see these gray warriors, remember you're looking at the black and white version of what was once a Technicolor army. Number 6. The Dodo Bird. Imagine being so bad at survival that your name becomes slang for being stupid. That's exactly what happened to the Dodo Bird. These guys were the trust fund kids of the animal kingdom. They lived on the island of Mauritius with no predators, plenty of food, and zero competition. Their wings were tiny and useless, because why bother flying when everything you need is on the ground? They were about as aerodynamic as a potato with legs. Then one day, humans showed up on big wooden boats. Instead of running away, the dodo just waddled up to say hello. Nobody had ever tried to eat them before. Sailors found them so easy to catch that they literally just walked up and grabbed them. No chase, no struggle, just free dinner. Within just 100 years of humans discovering them, every single dodo was gone. The last confirmed sighting was in 1662. We don't even have a complete dodo specimen. All we have are some bones, a few drawings, and one dried head. Nobody alive has ever seen a real, living, breathing dodo. Number 5. The original The Last Supper. The version of The Last Supper we see today looks like someone left it out in the rain for 500 years. But back in 1498, the original colors would have hit you like a punch to the face. Vibrant blues, deep reds, and shimmering golds. The faces were so detailed, you could read every emotion. Da Vinci tried something new with this painting. Instead of using traditional fresco techniques, he experimented with tempera paint on dry plaster. It was a disaster. Within just 20 years, the paint started flaking off. To make it worse, monks cut a door right through Jesus' feet in 1652 because getting to the kitchen faster was more important. Later, Napoleon's troops used the room as a stable and reportedly threw rocks at the apostles for fun. The painting has been restored so many times that only about 20% of what you see today is thought to be Da Vinci's original work. You're mostly looking at other people's interpretations of what they think Da Vinci painted. We don't even know for sure what food was on the table anymore. Number 4. The Great Pyramid's smooth exterior. About 4,500 years ago, walking through the desert toward the Great Pyramid, you'd be nearly blinded by a massive, gleaming structure. Those rough, stair-like blocks you see today are just the core. The Great Pyramid was originally covered in smooth, white Tura limestone blocks, polished to a mirror-like finish. Picture the world's biggest mirror, reflecting sunlight so intensely that ancient Egyptians called it Iket, which means glorious light. The limestone casing was so perfectly fitted that you couldn't slide a credit card between the blocks. Most of this smooth outer layer was stripped away in the 14th century when Cairo was being rebuilt after an earthquake. Medieval builders looked at the pyramids and saw free building materials. Today, only a few of these casing stones remain at the base of the Great Pyramid, just enough to make you realize what we're missing. The entire pyramid would have looked like a giant jewel in the desert, visible from miles away. Number 3. The fully intact Easter Island statues. We've been getting catfished by the giant stone faces on Easter Island for centuries. Everyone thinks they're just massive heads sticking out of the ground, like a bunch of grumpy guys buried up to their necks. But these aren't just heads. These guys have full bodies hidden underground. We're talking shoulders, torsos, and even detailed hands resting on their stone bellies. They sank into the ground over hundreds of years of soil buildup and erosion. Some of these statues are up to 33 feet tall when fully excavated. Many of them were also painted in bright colors. Scientists have found traces of red and white paint, which means these stern-looking statues were once vibrant. So instead of the gray stone faces we see today, they were once like giant, colorful Easter Island action figures. Number 2. An unlooted Pharaoh's tomb. King Tut's tomb was impressive. Gold everywhere, fancy jewelry, and his famous death mask. But Tut was basically a teen celebrity who died young. To see a truly mind-blowing tomb, we'd need to find one belonging to a superstar pharaoh, like Ramesses the Great. Ramesses ruled for 66 years, had over 200 wives and concubines, and commissioned more monuments than any other pharaoh. His tomb would have been like finding 10 King Tut tombs stacked on top of each other. But every major pharaoh's tomb we've found has been looted, often just months after the burial. Even Tut's tomb had been broken into twice in ancient times. The really valuable stuff, the solid gold statues and jewel-encrusted furniture, was all gone before archaeologists ever saw it. In an untouched tomb, sealed for 3,000 years, the gold would be so bright it would hurt your eyes. The wall paintings would be as vivid as the day they were painted. You'd be breathing the same air that was sealed in there 3 millennia ago, but unless a hidden tomb is found, no one alive will ever see that. Number 1. Qin Shi Huang's sealed tomb. Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb has been sealed for over 2,200 years. You've probably seen pictures of his terracotta army, but those warriors are just the bouncers outside the club. The emperor's actual tomb has never been opened since it was sealed in 210 BCE. Ancient Chinese writings describe the tomb as an underground palace. They say it has a ceiling mimicking the night sky with pearls for stars, and a map of China with rivers of flowing mercury. Modern tests show extremely high mercury levels in the soil around the tomb, suggesting the legends are true. According to those ancient texts, the tomb is rigged with crossbows that would automatically shoot anyone who tried to break in. The builders were so serious about protecting it that they designed weapons to kill people who wouldn't be born for another 2,000 years. The Chinese government won't open it, partly because they're worried about damaging what's inside, and partly because they're not sure how to deal with the toxic mercury. The only people who ever saw what's inside have been dead for over 2 millennia. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.